What's up, YouTube? Hope everything good with you. Everything good with me. It's lovely. It's lovely. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon. We're gonna go home and get some yard work done as soon as I finish working. Gonna take care of some business real quick, try to make some money. Go home, do some yard work, get ready for tomorrow. We're gonna fire that grill. We're gonna do some stuff for the weekend. But I got this video for you, and I put it together actually last week, so I'm very popping on here for you, and I hope you enjoy it. This is a pot roast, and if you remember, 2 weeks ago I did at the request of a viewer, I did a smoked pot roast. Well, this is just your classic pot roast. I hope you like it. It turned out tremendous. So tell me what you think when it's over. Check it out. I hope you enjoy it, like it. I'll see you in a second. All right, YouTube, we back. We're back. What we're gonna do is throw us a little garlic in there. I just got some garlic and I took a mallet and just smashed it. I had turned the heat off on this while I was chopping the onions, which is what's gonna go in after this garlic. So just bringing it back up to heat. But you want, make sure that you are getting those scrapings, right? You want to deglaze that pan because that stuff is flavored. And we want that. So get you a spatula and make sure you get that brown stuff up off the bottom of the pan. Alright? This is 2 large onions I'm adding. Now, if I had the fresh stuff, I would actually wait and put the roast in first and put my liquid in, and then just throw the fresh stuff in there, the fresh herbs in there. But since I got dry, I'm going to stick them in here right now, and you'll see what I'm going to do in a sec. That was thyme, this went first. I'm sorry, that was rosemary that went first. This is your thyme right here. We're going to turn this heat off. We're going to add some oregano. Take your pot roast, your chuck roast. And if I didn't mention, this is a chuck roast, by the way. I think I said that. I might not have. But that's what I use for a traditional pot roast. It's a chuck roast. Make sure you're getting grease that was on that plate. You want to get all that in the pot because that's good. That's flavor. Alright? It smells so good. Then we're going to go in with some water. I just put 4 cups of water in there. That's going to vary depending on the size of pot that you have. For this size roast, I usually use a Dutch oven for pot roast. This roast is a little bigger, so I'm using this larger Dutch oven. And all we're going to do is add some more salt and pepper. Because this is a traditional classic pot roast, I'm just going to do salt and pepper. I've got some other ideas, well, not other ideas, some other things that I do with pot roast that involve more exotic seasonings. I got some South African seasonings I use. I got some Middle Eastern stuff. And it's fun. You can have so much fun with a pot roast doing some different things. Classic pot roast only requires salt and pepper. And in fact, it's really good. I mean, when I say only requires it, I mean it really only requires it. The meat, the flavor that's going to come out of the meat is going to be so good that you don't need to, go out of your way doing too much work on it in terms of seasonings. All right, going to cover it. All right, we got it covered. We're gonna put it in the oven at 300. The oven is not quite heated up. It's at about 282, but we're gonna go ahead and put it in there right now anyway. That'll be fine. This handles were a little hot. I'm late, so I'm 22 minutes late. I wanted to have this on by 11:30, it's 11:52. But that is what it is, right? Sometimes that's how it be. I'm going to be able to do this for probably 7 hours then. I was hoping 7.5. because I'm almost a half an hour late getting on. I'm probably gonna be able to do about 7 hours. That'll put me at the end of game number 2, or right at the end of the game number 2. And by then I'll be to drink up all the Heineken, and I'll be ready to eat my pot roast. And we'll hope that it turns out well. Well, it will turn out well. A couple other things we'll do along the way. All right, peace. All right, so YouTube, let me show you something that's really special. Now, I was watching football. I watched the Dallas Cowboys game, Redskins, as I talked to you earlier when you saw me, or I was on. We obviously beat the Redskins. Hoorah! I went out to buy my son a car. We was gone for a lot longer than I thought. I left this on. I said I was going to leave it on about 7.5 hours, but I anticipated being here to watch it. I wasn't. Got back right at the 7-hour mark. Look at this. Look at this. Look how easily you can push into that meat. I don't want to disturb it too much, but look how tender that is. If you can see that and appreciate that, that's what you want in your classic pot roast. We're going to put some potatoes together and some carrots. We're going to do some onions. We're going to be right back in a second. Okay, so we're going to add some potatoes right here. Uh-oh. I dropped one underneath the pot, I believe. Plenty of potatoes. Don't want them to cover the roast so much as to just be on the side of the roast. Okay. Got some baby carrots. You can chop your own carrots, obviously. I do that a lot of times. I love these baby carrots. I'm gonna put a bunch of those in there. A lot of carrots because I like carrots. So why not? Spread those out. And then we're gonna get in with a little beef broth. We're gonna bring the liquid back up. Go across the top of the roast a little bit just to wet it up. Alright. I want to bring the liquid back up to about the top of the roast. And this isn't for the purposes of cooking the roast. That roast is right. It's just going to get more and more tender over the next hour, hour and a half. That liquid is for the purposes of doing those vegetables. So I'm going to put it back in the oven. At 300 again. And it's going to be in there for about another hour and a half. And then we're going to have a finished product. And I'll let you know what it looks like, baby. Alright, be back. Fresh out the oven. It was in there about another 2 hours. So you got 9 hours total cooking time. This thing was so tender. It was so delicious. It was so good. Potatoes were tender. The carrots were tender. If I had to do it again, I would leave it another hour probably for the potatoes. They could have been a little bit more tender. It was delicious. That's fresh out the oven. Poking it a little bit to get a feel for how it goes. I like to put these raw onions on mine. They're so good. You don't have to do it, but I do. And there you go. Pot roast. Bam, baby. It's good. Pot roast is classic. It's right. YouTube, I love you. Hit me.